Hi, I'm Rob.
I'm Katie.
And we're
Livin' Lovin' Disney.
Come join us on our podcast where we talk about all things Disney.
Like our trips and cruises, our DVC resorts, tours of the park, after-hour parties, and our family's crazy Disney life.
We've got some older episodes for you to listen to and get to know us a little bit.
Keep on dreaming.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob and Katie from
Livin' Lovin' Disney.
And today we have Jacob in the interview loft, or AKA the DVC announcer guy.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Katie.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about Jacob's trip to Disneyland. He went down during the holiday season to visit some family, and he and Sophia went to Disneyland for a day. So we haven't been to Disneyland in a while.
We will this year, though.
We'll be going in April. But so we wanted to talk to Jacob about his experience at Disneyland. So Jacob, we're just going to let you talk a little bit. We'll interject. I'm having a hard time like interjecting because I get a break and then I talk over somebody because they're not talking, and then I talk, and then they, you know how it goes. You start talking at the same time. Kind of like when you stopped at a stop sign and okay, go. Then they go, then you go, and you're like, oh.
He just likes to interrupt. Don't mind.
No, I don't. I want to have a conversation.
Yeah, please stop me. I mean, I'm definitely I'm a gabber, so I could just go on and on.
But I want you to because it's your experience, and so. But we'll definitely interact. Obviously,
bring on the deets.
But
spill the
anyways, tell us a little bit about your Disneyland trip. You were telling me when we talked earlier.
Yeah,
but it was one of the nicer days that you guys have had. So go ahead and talk away.
Yeah, I mean, just to preface it all, by the end of it, Sophia and I decided that was a top 5 day in our marriage. That was so freaking fun. And I think there's a lot of things that go into that, and I'll dive into it. But yeah, I'll just kind of go chronologically, like how everything kind of unfolded. But you know, Sophia really wanted to go to Disneyland. We hadn't been to Disneyland since 2018, summer of 2018. Okay. So it'd been 4.5 years. We went to Disneyland Paris. Actually, that might have even been before. That was also a while ago. So anyway, it's been a long time since we went. Sophia said, "That's all I want for Christmas is to go to Disneyland." And we were already going down to Southern California, to hang out with Mom and Grandma and Grandpa. And so she wanted to try to make it work, but I just thought, we're only going to be there for a few days to hang out with family, and we want to use our time with family. So we tried to get everybody to go, but starting off with the price for the holidays, tickets were just spendy. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people are going to the park when it's holiday season. So, we tried to recruit, but
So what was
didn't want to go.
The daily price for a ticket, not park hopper, just the daily price.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it was like
$180.
I think it was $179. Yeah, okay. It was $179 for a single day at Disneyland. $79.99. Well, $179 for a single day at Disney, and then siblings.
But that was just one park, right?
It.
Was that just Disneyland? Okay.
That was just Disneyland. And this was, so what we ended up doing was we changed our flight and left a day earlier. So we went on the 23rd of December. So
right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. And so it was $179 and people wanted to think about it. And so we waited. And eventually when we're like, okay, well, we're just going to go a day earlier. We're just going to go just ourselves. There were no tickets left for just Disneyland. They were totally sold out.
Right.
So the only option, if we still wanted to do Disneyland, was to get a park hopper. And the park hoppers were $259 for a single day.
Gosh.
And we're like, son of a, or maybe $265 or something like that. But they were $260 something. And, and then you're going during the holidays and you figure it's going to be busy. So you're like, well, we got to do the Teen Plus, and that's an extra $25. Now it's $25. I know before that's gone up in price, but so we ended up spending $279 a ticket. I remember was what it came out to each for a single day. And we were talking about this, Dad, about the park hopper. And we were thinking, oh, we have the park hopper so we can go in and out whichever we want, but we could
Which
just
is how it used
Disney
to
if
be.
we wanted.
That's
That's
how
how
it
it used to be. But now they say, we're going to designate you the park that you can start in. And then at 1 p.m., at least for our day that we were there, at 1 p.m., you can go over to the other park. We ended up going over to Disneyland at 2. So I don't know what would have happened, but I assume that they would just scan your ticket and say, oh, you still can't go in for another however long, you know?
All right.
So that's how it works. And so we had to start in California Adventure, which I hadn't been to California Adventure, since we went. I can't remember. It's been a really long time since we did California Adventure.
Yeah.
So,
was it?
Anyway.
Was it that trip we took as a family? Was that the last time?
Yeah,
to California?
yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure when Sophia and I went the summer of 2018, I don't think we went to California Adventure. Or maybe we did. Maybe we did.
So
actually.
a lot's changed in California Adventure, probably. I mean, because they
You know
got rid of
what?
Bugs Land and all that.
We did go 2018 because I remember doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So, and when we went when I was a teenager, it was still Tower of Terror. But
Right.
so anyway, yeah, that's the pricing. We ended up spending $279 a piece. We took an Uber into the park. It was like $40 from West Covina. So it wasn't horrible.
How much was that?
It was like $40.
Oh, that's not
I
too
think it ended up
bad.
being be about $45 or something.
One
which
way.
it was actually, yeah, just one way.
Okay.
It was funny too, just getting into details about Ubers, but we scheduled it the night before because we were like, we want to get into the park right when it opens. We just have one day.
Drop.
So we scheduled, yeah, exactly. So we scheduled the Uber for like 6:40, and then we were going to get there at like, we just wanted to get there like 15, 20 minutes before
Right.
doors open. So when we scheduled it, it was like $65, I think. We scheduled it the night before. And then we got up at about 6:20 and we were like, whoa, because we had just traveled the day before.
Right.
And Sophia, I said, do you want to, the Uber is going to be here in about 5 minutes. She goes, I can't do it. She goes, I can't do it. Let's just cancel it. And then we'll just order another one and let's leave in like 45 minutes or, let's actually get ready for the day and have things prepared. Okay. So we canceled it and that charged us $30 to cancel.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I booked the new
man.
Uber, when I booked the new Uber live, it was only 40 something bucks. So I was like, it's actually more to schedule it than to just get one live, which is interesting.
Yeah,
So-
you think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think when you schedule,
It's
I think when it's
guaranteed
live,
money.
people are just waiting. People are just waiting
Well,
around. Maybe
They could be closer to your where you're at
Destination.
too. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So
Oh, that's interesting.
we used a lot of Ubers when we were in California. This time, we to the airport, to Disney, back from Disney and stuff. But anyway, so we ended up getting there about 8:30, a little after the park opened. It opened at 8.
Okay.
But yeah, we started in California Adventure, and going into what I was saying about why this trip was so much fun, we did a few things. First, we just saved. We donated plasma. Actually, we both did. Sophia hates it, but she donated too because I was like Disneyland, and she wanted to be able to have some freedom. So she's donating, and she's like, I hate this, and I'm like sending her pictures of like the Disney castle and stuff.
Touch it.
But
touch it.
so we ended up having like some money set apart that was just like spending money. This isn't coming out of any fund. It's just spending money. So having that was, people, it's so expensive to eat in the park. It's, souvenirs are so expensive. We just didn't even think about it. And offloading that stress made the day so much more fun.
So if you're ever thinking about Disneyland, you can't afford it, just go donate some plasma. Plasma.
You can donate a plaza
You
if you
help-
want to.
You help people, you save
no
lives, and you make a
excuses.
little money at the same time. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah, there's my plug for plasma. So that was part of it. And then another thing that we did was we watched, because since we hadn't been in a little bit, we watched a bunch of videos on, tips and tricks for how to do Disneyland right. And we weren't familiar with the Genie Plus Pass. So we watched a bunch of videos. You know what? Give me a second.
They didn't have.
gonna look at
Okay,
this-
we never did
this
Genie
one
Plus at
guy.
Disneyland.
Yes, we did.
Well, they've changed it,
Yeah, but
They
we
they
did
definitely
it
have
before
changed
they
it.
did.
and it was
I called it Genie. At that time,
Well,
they were just
because it's the same thing that Disney World has now,
they
right?
just so you could get it on your phone, basically.
Right.
And it was
And that works
$10 a
great.
day or something like that.
Right, and it worked great.
And it worked great instead of running all over to get
So
fast
now it's
passes.
called
it
Genie
was convenient.
Plus. So so
Genie
you said
Plus,
that works out
it's
pretty good.
$25. Provost Park Pass. This guy, I don't know if you've ever watched any of his stuff.
No.
He's like a big Disney enthusiast.
Okay.
He has, 172,000 followers or subscribers rather. 172,000 followers. And he's this funny
Goober.
He's this goofy guy. He's quirky. He's really kind, and he just knows everything about Disneyland, everything.
Okay.
And so we watched a couple of his videos, and we really took advantage of the Genie Plus. So when you get the Disneyland app, and then you go to like my Genie Day or something. I should have the app out, but that's where you can make all your reservations and whatnot,
right.
and see what time shows are and all that stuff. You can order your mobile food on the app,
everything, just
Right,
like
which is nice. I like that.
Yeah, we used that a few times. So we just did a lot of research beforehand, and then saved up some money, and I think that made it a lot better. But anyway, so we started the day in the park. We started right on the Incredicoaster because it was like a 15-minute wait, and we're like, we don't want to use the fast pass or they call lightning lane now.
Right.
We don't want to use the lightning lane because 15 minutes isn't that bad, and if we want to ride the ride again when it's an hour wait, then
15 minutes is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing. So we did that first. Such a blast. I was taking constant doses of Dramamine the entire day. I just can't do rides anymore.
Wait,
so
how many doses did you take?
Well, you can take, I think the brand that I had, it might not have been Dramamine, it might have been an off brand, but it's like 2 pills every 4 hours or something. So I would take 2 pills, and then I would set a timer for 4 hours, and right when the 4 hours hit, I'd take my other 2 pills.
So is this something that has come on?
Yeah, definitely with
for
age.
You?
Yeah. Absolutely. I never
crazy.
used to get sick.
Changes with
I
age.
could go to Magic Mountain. I could go to Magic Mountain and go crazy. The family that I'm living with right now, that we're living with, 10-year-old Annie, she is incapable of getting dizzy. I watched her spin around in a circle for 5 minutes and then walk a perfectly straight line. I timed it 5 minutes. I was like, this kid is crazy. I spin around twice and I feel like I'm going to throw up. Serious. I have no tolerance.
Isn't that weird how that
That's
changes,
funny.
man?
I know, we
have no tolerance.
We have to start the Dramamine like a day or so before we go.
And
get it in the system, and I notice after a few days, then he's better. If we hit him hard on day one, sometimes he's like,
I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it really works to get it in my system. I mean, because I've had days where like that one time we rode Everest 10 times in a row. I mean,
it didn't bother you at all.
It didn't bother me at all, and I don't even know if I had Dramamine that day, but maybe once. But usually I can go 2 times. I'm done, even with Dramamine. I'm like, I can only do it 2 times.
Wow, interesting.
Well, that's crazy,
I was taking
Jacob.
I was taking constant doses, and I was perfectly fine throughout the day. I didn't have any nausea. Sophia is like, oh, I don't get dizzy. After we got off the Incredicoaster, she got, okay, pass me some Dramamine. So she just took that one dose in the morning, and then she didn't take any throughout the day. But I just didn't want to risk it, and it really helped. I mean, I was getting car sick. I actually took Dramamine in like 30 because they recommend take it an hour before you do the thing that's going to make you nauseous or whatever. So I actually took it before even the Uber drive because I'll get car sick, sitting in an Uber. So anyway, I was taking a lot of Dramamine that day.
That's fine. We do the all day version.
Appreciate
it. Take it once a day.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be convenient. But I was just setting a timer. We did the Incredicoaster, and then we went over and Sophia, we did the Little Mermaid. That was one of the biggest reasons Sophia wanted to go to Disneyland because she's in the production of the Little Mermaid.
She plays a Little Mermaid in the production that she's in right now. So
and she does such a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, she was like, I want to go to Disneyland because I'm Ariel right now. And we went to the Little Mermaid after that, which is, I mean, obviously super fun ride. It's a slow moving ride. All the animatronics. I mean,
it's perfect after a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Did you guys go up to Ariel and go, I'm
California
Ariel?
Adventure?
No, you're not. I'm Ariel. No, you're not. I'm Ariel.
Did she sing?
Yeah, she actually jumped on the animatronic Ariel and was choking her out. I was like, Sophia, settle down.
Easy.
No,
She
but
sang
that
all the
was a
way
lot of
through it,
fun.
didn't she?
Okay.
Yeah, she did. We were, taking videos, and yeah, it's super fun. So that was really special. Took a lot of fun pictures. She actually got an outfit from a friend. Her friend gave her some Mickey ears, a Little Mermaid sweater, and then a Little Mermaid. Those lounge flies that are like all over the place.
Yeah.
Those little backpacks.
Uh-huh.
So her friend had a Little Mermaid lounge fly, and Sophia was like all decked out in Little Mermaid stuff that her friend lent her. Shout out to Berkey. So, but yeah, so. We did Little Mermaid. Sophia, first bite of the day was corn dog castle.
Corn dogs.
If you've been over there in California Adventure, they got some good corn dogs. So we did not do a mobile order for that one. We just stood in line. Yeah, I'm just looking at some pictures now. No, yeah, Sophia loves corn dogs. So we did corn dog castle. We didn't, like I said, we didn't do the mobile order on that one. So we just stood in line. It wasn't too bad though, maybe about a 15-20 minute wait. So, after that, so now getting into kind of the Genie Plus pass and the tips for Genie Plus. So it's a reservation system. Okay. So each ride throughout the day has a certain amount of reservations that can be made, and you make them chronologically. So when you first get into the park, right when the park opens at 8, if you were to go to, for example, Radiator Springs Racers, it's like, you get on your app and there's a reservation for, let's say, 9 o'clock. You have to use this between 9 and 10.
Right.
You have to scan it between 9 and 10. You have an hour window to scan it. And you scan that right when you get in line. So, anyway,
like
but if you wait, people are making reservations. So you might get into the park and at noon, you might go, oh, I want to do a lightning lane for Radiator Springs Racers. And it's like the reservation's at 8 p.m. because all of the other ones have been used up throughout the day, right? So you have to really be strategic about, when you want to do certain things. If you're going to be in one park or the other, you have to be on that reservation system. And then you have to make sure that you are within that hour window. So we got we did our lightning lane for Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was at 1 p.m. So we had a few hours and we're like, oh, let's do Radiator Springs Racers. And I was talking to Dad about this yesterday. The board said 95 minutes. And we're like, yikes, that's kind of steep. But last time we came, we remember really liking this ride. So we'll do 95 minutes. We didn't even, and we were actually, I was texting you guys when we were in line.
Yep.
And you were like, you should have done the single rider. But we didn't even really know the single rider. We didn't, and we were like 95 minutes, whatever. And you'll notice when you guys, go and you probably remember, but the line was all the way out of the ride. It was into the street.
Okay.
Right.
And so this is the benefit of if you go to Disney a lot and the
queue,
the queues, right? You're like, okay, it says 95 minutes, but I know that if you're right here, it's 3 hours. But we were totally oblivious to that. We just said, 95 minutes, it's 95 minutes. So we get in line and, we're snacking on stuff. We brought a bunch of snacks, by the way, which was a lifesaver. We still spent a good amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
We had food throughout the day in the park, but the snacks when you're in line, sitting on some beef jerky or some Chex Mix or something.
Yeah, we do that all
difference.
the time, man. That's a must do.
Yeah, that's what killed us during COVID, not being able to snack.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us eat in line and stuff. So
really?
Yeah.
You couldn't take off your mask to eat anything.
You weren't supposed to. So, people were like,
wow. How strict were they? Pretty strict on it?
Yeah, they were pretty strict on it. They didn't want you to eat. They were strict on the type of mask you had. And we saw one guy there that had his own custom mask, and it actually split apart in the middle. And he'd slide his straw into the slot and he'd eat.
Zip it back up?
And it would just automatically close. If he opened his mouth wide enough, it would open the slit. And he could shove food in and just close his mouth and the mask would shut again.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
I was like, dude.
Make it easy.
Yeah, I was getting straws. I had my long straw, and I was just sticking my straw up underneath my mask so I could drink while we were in line and doing stuff like that. But it was kind of nuts.
That would have been a nightmare.
Sit down to do it. You couldn't eat in line. If they caught you, you'd be in trouble. You had to go sit down to go eat and snack and take your mask off and eat.
Wow. Yeah, that would have been an absolute nightmare. No, yeah, it was not a single trace of COVID, even in Southern California. Right. No, maybe I think there might have been some people wearing masks still, but there was not even any signs. We recommend it, we suggest it. Was just nothing, which was nice.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so we were in Radiator Springs. We're in this line, and I was telling Dad, you see where the line goes around a bend, and you're like, oh, we're almost there. We're almost to the bend, and then you go over, for
And it
this ride, you
twists
go
you
over
back
this
the other way.
bridge,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh my gosh. And after probably an hour and a half, and when you had this clear shot of, in this specific line, you can see it goes straight, and then it goes into a little like square room, and then there's a bunch of switchbacks in there.
Yep.
And then you pop out and you go a little farther, a bunch of switchbacks into a room, a little farther, and there's 3 of those, and then you wrap back around. And so when we were in line for about an hour and a half, we realized, oh yeah, we're not even remotely close. We're at the 95 minutes and we're not even close. And at that point, you're like, well, maybe it's gonna speed up. Should we do single rider? So anyway, we ended up waiting 2 hours and 45 minutes for this thing. So it was brutal. And when you're trying to do both parks in one day, 3 hours is just,
that's too much to spend on one
sucks.
ride. Yeah.
It doesn't matter the ride. It's just like,
that's half
that's
your time
too much
at that
anyway.
park, basically.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Not
So
quite,
we were kind of bummed, but we were like, okay, good learning experience. And so anyway, that was that. And then we we did Guardians of the Galaxy, which was super fun ride. Obviously, love that. And speaking of the nauseous thing, the drop rides usually get me, because when there's an amusement park here in North Salt Lake called Lagoon, and I did a big drop ride, and it dropped me, and then it bounces you back up.
Yeah.
As soon as it bounced me back up, I just went. It was like this. Someone hit a switch, and I was just automatically sick.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous for that one, but I was totally fine. Yeah, I love
Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you been on that one before with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Terrible.
Yeah, I did that one like 4 years ago.
Okay.
But actually, I don't think I'd even seen the movies at that point, and I know Sophia hadn't seen them, so it was a lot more fun, going and knowing who, knowing other people and stuff like that. So, which they're coming out with a third movie, with a third Guardians.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in that queue too, to old rides. If you're looking around you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't really notice anything like that.
They're kind of in and up on shelves and in places you have to look around.
Right. So
yeah, if I probably just am not familiar enough with the old ride to even notice things,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah, I'd done one of those video things and watched, and they said look for the Easter eggs on the ride. So I was like really looking as we were going through and trying to find the ones that were in the video.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Disney's good about that sort of thing. So I'll take a little break here now to talk about something else cool about Genie Plus, which I don't know if this is new or if this has always been this way with Fast Pass or whatever, but you see photographers all over the place at Disneyland and California Adventure.
Right.
And I always thought, to take pictures with them, you're gonna, you got to pay $15. I didn't really know how it worked, but if you have the Genie Plus pass, if there's a line, you just get in line. If there's nobody in line, you just, hey, can you take our picture? And they'll take a few pictures, and then you just get you go on the My Photos, on the Genie Plus pass on the app, and it pulls up a code, and then they just take their thing, they scan the code, and then it just loads. A few minutes later, it'll just load the pictures right onto your app, and then you can download them from there.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool. We took a ton of really nice pictures while we were in both parks.
That is nice.
So that was a really nice touch.
You don't have to worry about taking your own picture. It is nice to utilize that.
Add to your moment, though. You can also have them go to certain places. So you want a picture somewhere, you can take a photographer. Can you take a picture of me over here? They'll follow you.
Oh, interesting.
If they don't have a huge line behind them, they'll follow you and take pictures wherever. You can also schedule for like $79. You can schedule 20 minutes private with a photographer. And they'll all drop into your little My Disney Experience pool, and you can download all the pictures. Which is cheap.
That's cool. And I mean, they're all in awesome places. They're right at the Disneyland entrance, right in front of the castle. We waited a decent amount to get a picture right in front of the castle. And at that point, it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a lot more crowded in the park. So, but, Sophia really wanted the picture. And
I always do the nighttime ones.
Worked out.
As you leave, there's always that Walt's Last Kiss Goodnight. You wait till the park's pretty much empty. And there'll be another little glow effect on the castle. and you can get
okay.
pictures by the castle without people all around you.
Oh, go for the romantic stuff now.
Yeah,
right?
and then you can do crazy stuff. There's usually like 5 photographers as you walk out of Disney World, and they're all in a line. So you hit one, do crazy, and then run and jump in the next line and do something crazy, and then jump in the next line, all the way out of the park. So we could hit them all the way out. What are we gonna do?
That was something. That was something totally new for me. I thought that was so nice. It's not, oh yeah, take your picture and go pick it up at the shop, and then you got to pay for it. It was just like, here you go. And then also when you come out of when you get off of a ride and they have all those pictures on the ride, you just punch your code in to the app, and then it downloads the picture straight onto your phone. I thought that was really neat. Which I think I just saw something on social media or something that they're going to make that just complimentary for everybody now. You don't even have to have Genie Plus to get the post ride pictures. You don't have to confirm that, but I think you could just like type in a code online or something and get it now without even having Genie Plus. But
well, that would be nice for $279. You should be getting something.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, that was a really nice touch. But yeah, so that was California Adventure pretty much. Sophia got some pins. She ended up getting it. No, we didn't ride any. That or is that Grizzly Bear?
Yep.
Is that the same one? The one where
Grizzly
you get
Bear
wet?
Run.
So when we were there, it was really overcast and it was not necessarily warm. So we were not really interested in getting wet all that much.
We always carry a poncho.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's smart. No, I mean honestly, California Adventure. We did Incredicoaster, we did Little Mermaid, we did Radio Springs Racers, and then we did we did Guardians of the Galaxy. That was it. It was just we missed so many things. But after we got off of Guardians of the Galaxy, it was like 1:30, and we ended up walking over to Disneyland and got in about 2:00. And then for like a couple hours, we just walked around. We just got some pictures, walked around Main Street. Sophia really wanted to get a cute pair of ears and a sweatshirt, and she had her eyes on a few souvenirs. So we walked around and did that for that was a little while. She got a hat. She ended up getting some. Maybe I have them. Her ears that she got. She always wants to get a pair of ears. She said when she goes to Disneyland.
I know.
Oh boy.
Get ears and a hat.
No, I think she. Oh, here they are. So she wanted to get some Ariel ears, because Little Mermaid, of course. So she ended up getting these ones.
Cute.
So the shells are there, and they have like the little pearls,
right?
And then that. So she didn't wear them that day because she was still wearing the other ones because they matched her outfit. But yeah, she got these ears. And then we did our first mobile order for food, which worked great. We went to it's right by Haunted Mansion. It's a little place.
Was it like the French kind of restaurant?
No, shoot. Let me see.
I'm sorry. All I can see is
got
Disney
the Hungry
World.
Bear.
It's been too long.
Hungry Bear's right there.
The layout of Disneyland is eluding me.
Yeah.
So you've got the soup place, the French or Orleans kind of stuff going on outside cafe by the Haunted Mansion. And we've had
maybe it was
cafe
that.
Right there.
Yeah. It's kind of a exactly. It's a smaller. I got the lobster roll. I got the lobster roll. Yeah. And then Sophia got a clam chowder bread bowl.
Yeah.
So, but it was awesome. We ordered it when we were on the other side of the park. Boom, boom, boom. Said when we got there, and then we sat there for maybe 60 seconds, and then your food's ready, and we jumped up. Sweet, went over, grabbed our food. So yeah, that worked out perfectly. Really liked taking advantage of the mobile order thing.
Right.
So you have to know where you're going to be, and you have to do some.
But you can do it from the line.
Yeah, that worked out nice.
So. Yeah, we like the mobile ordering.
Yeah. So then we got some pictures in front of the castle. Yeah, exactly. I think we did it when we were waiting in line to get some pictures. Mobile order, so that worked out perfect. And then I have to look through my pictures to remember a sequence and everything. Okay. Then we did Space Mountain. Yeah, we got a lightning lane for Space Mountain. Okay, so here's another big thing with lightning lane. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm
Jake.
Oh, my
We're
bad.
gonna lose.
It's
Yeah,
got-
we've got 1
we'll just-
minute.
We'll just reconnect.
We'll reconnect
Okay.
for
Put a
Part
pause,
two?
Put a pause right where you're at.
but
We'll-
put a
Okay.
pause for a second there because I don't want to lose you in mid sentence.
all right.
Okay, send me another thing.
Okay.